Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Samasta Jana Kalyani Niratam Karunamayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Sadgurum Brahma Vitvaram Kataksha Kirana Chanta Naman Mohabdhaye Namaha Anantananda Krishnaya Jagan Mangala Murtaye Ahamasmi sada bhami kada chinnaham apriyaha brahmaivahamata siddham satchidananda lakshanam mayyevo dedi chitvyomni jagat gandharva pattanam atoham nakatam brahma sarvajñam sarvakaranam Nasvada pratyabhignanat niramshatvan nacha nyadaha nachashraya vinashanme vinashasyadanashrayat. In the third verse, having first explained or established in the second verse that there is no real difference between the nature of Brahman and oneself. For Sat, Chit and Ananda is what is the nature of Brahman. In fact, instead of saying nature of Brahman, Sat, Chit, Ananda is Brahman. That is a better way of putting it. It is not saying fire has the nature or characteristic of heat, quality of heat. Fire is hot. It cannot be fire and then there is a quality called heat in it. Fire is hot. Similarly, what is Brahman? Sat Chit Ananda. It is not Brahman has the quality of Satchidananda. And having established the fact that Satchidananda is the nature of, is Brahman, what am I? Aham asmi. I am. Aham bhami. I am aware. Aham na kadachit apriyaha bhavami. I no time does not like me. I never do not like me. Not does not, do not. So, aham asmi, that proves that aham sat. Aham bhami sada, that proves aham chit. Aham na apriyaha bhavami kadachit. I never become undesirable to myself. That shows that aham ananda. So, interesting thing is that even though I am Sat, but I have the fear of becoming Asat. I die. I die and I fear about my death. See, think about it. Think simple logic. If you think Vedanta Vichar is so simple, but we make it so complicated. जब एक वस्तु है, let us say that a thing is there. उसका अस्तित्व मुझे मालूम है. I know its existence. And when it is gone, I know its non-existence in this place. It's somewhere else. All right. So पहले यहाँ था, अभी नहीं था. It was there, and now it is not there. किसको मालूम है? Who knows that? Who knows that? One who is always present, one who was present when it was present, and one who is present in its absence. Think. Right? I was aware of its presence and I am aware of its absence. All right. Now, is it possible that at any point of time, I become aware of my absence? Huh? My own absence can never be. But what is my thinking that I'll become absent? That is called death. Death is not your absence. Death is your presence in the absence of everything else. That is what I'm afraid of. मैं रहूंगा, कुछ नहीं और रहेगा. My wife won't be there, my children won't be there, my house won't be there, my body won't be there. I'm afraid of the fact that I will remain in the absence of everything else. So what am I afraid of? Not my death, absence of everything else. See, when you see a person dead, dead means, it's no more in the body. And we think that person is dead. It's the other way around. He is present. For him is present. We are all not there. So what happens is, death is not possible for you to experience. Your own death you will never experience. But definitely you will experience the loss of everything else. Why? Because aham sada asmi. I'm always there. And not only it is said by this one, Advaita Makaranda only, Bhagavan Krishna also said this. Hey Arjun, you will never be absent. And his statement is not just encouraging, inspiring, and just to keep Arjun happy. No, that's a fact. Natvevaham jatanasam. Never that you or me will be was ever absent before. So, aham sada asmi, but my fear is what? in future sometime, aham na bhavami. I won't be there. And the second thing is obviously clear. I cannot be existing without knowing my existence. Sada aham bhami. Sada, at all times, I am aware of my existence. Without any external aid or external support or proof. And also, I am always dear to me, in whichever condition I am. Even if I am in a condition, I'm poor, useless, unproductive, lazy, good for nothing, I may hate that condition. The body is not healthy, that condition of the body I may hate. Or my mind is going through some disturbance, emotion, that particular condition of my mind I hate. In fact, that hatred is because you are moving away from your natural state of Anand. That's why you are restless there. It's like take a rubber band and pull it. That tension is because of what? Tension is because of what? Tension is because it is moving away from its center point. Eh? So anger, lust, passion, greed, jealousy, loss, sadness, grief, all these are all moving away from who you are. And therefore that unhealthy condition, disturbed condition, restless condition, you would like to get rid of it so that you can come back to yourself. And when you come back to yourself, sukham. So ahamasmi sada bhami katha chinnaham apriyaha. So brahmaiva hamada siddham satchidananda lakshanam. Now, why do I feel that I'm subject to death or subject to grief? Why is that? Because of the fact that I relate myself only to what is not me. Jagat. World. When we say world, it does not mean world. No. World. From yahan se shuru hota hai. From here onward, the world starts. The world is bad. When you say, you're actually including you. This world is full of corruption. Within bracket, we have to put including you, sir. Because you, without you being a part of the world, how do you know the world is corrupt? This body is also a world, the mind is also the world. So, mayi eva udedi jagat gandharva pattanam. Mad chidvyomni mayi. In me, in that space of consciousness, Jagat, the world, which is like a Gandharva Pattanam, is like that of the celestial world of Indra. As I come to know that not by any other scriptural statement also. I don't need. I know that when I am not awake to the world is not available to me. Who comes first? World comes first or you come first? Ask this question. When you wake up, the world is there to wake you up or you are waking up to the world? World comes and, hey, get up. Of course, your dog will do that. Swamiji is not dog part of the world. Yes, that's what wakes me up every day. So when I am awake to the world means what, awake to the sensory perceptions, not the world, sensory perceptions here. Until then, there was sound also, but you did not hear until you wake up. Until then, body was there, but it was not hungry. Until then, so-called body was there, but it was not thirsty. The very fact that I'm not aware of the thirst and hunger and rest of the things of the world while I was asleep, and I have come to become aware upon waking up, shows when I do not wake up to this, they don't exist. So when I am waking up to my senses through the mind, or I'm waking up to the mind and through then the senses and then the world, Mayi Chidvyomni, in my space of consciousness, idam jagat gandharva pattanam udedi, it appears. Atah, therefore, aham na kadam brahma. How can I not be Brahman? Sarvajnam sarvakaranam, which is the knower of everything and the cause of everything. See, the standpoint that one should understand from this Lakshmidhara Kavi, similar to that of Ramana Maharshi, here he is not explaining about Utpatti of this world. He is not discussing about the cause and creation of the world. He is from the standpoint of the world of varieties of names and forms, the very plurality that we come to experience cannot be there, the plurality cannot be there without the presence of a single consciousness. This is called Eka Jiva Vada. Eka eva jivaha. One alone is that presence of consciousness, in whose presence alone the plurality appears. It is not that there are many jivas experiencing the world. Just like in the dream also, where I alone am, and by me alone everything is experienced, by me alone everything is created also. But extending the same analogy into the waking, just like in the dream, without me there cannot be a dream. Similarly, in waking also, without me there cannot be a waking world. And it appears that the waking world is more real than the dream world. Because from the dream, we can walk up to the waking and even ignore the dream, or we can understand the falsification of the dream. Whereas from the waking, you cannot go to dream and falsify the waking. Think. Can you? From the dream, when you wake up, you see the dream as an illusion. In the same way, from the waking, when you go to dream, can you consciously see the unreality of the waking? Though it is true. You wanted to be a rich person, but you are not. Suffering the poverty. And in the dream, you become a rich person. And in the dream, when you have become rich, can you say, oh, what a foolish experience I had in the waking as I am poor? Can you experience that? Since it is not so, or it appears not so, therefore we think, because we are able to falsify the dream, waking is real. If you are able to go to the dream and falsify the waking, then we realize that this also is not true. A Mahatma does that. Not that he goes to dream, he goes to Samadhi. And he'll negate both. Samsara swapna tulyo hi raga dveshadi sankula swakale satyavad bhati prabodhe satyavi prabose satyavat asad bhaved. Samsaraha jagat swapna tulyo hi swapna savadrsho hi swapna samohi, equal to the dream. Raga dvesha adi sankulaha, filled with likes and dislikes. Swakale, during that time, satyavat bhati, it appears to be real. Prabodhe sati, on waking up, asat bhaved. It is completely unreal. As much as the dream experiences are seen to be real during the time of dream, experienced by you intensely, and upon waking up, you are able to recall and say, it experienced by me, no doubt, but not real. Similarly, when you wake up when you get into the dream and look back on the waking and say, I experienced it, therefore it appears to be real, but not true. That state of dream where you are able to able to realize the unreality of the waking is called Samadhi. When you realize both what I'm experiencing right now, as well as whatever I experienced before, are equally untrue. And if at all I experienced them, since it is happening in my space of consciousness, and within the space of my consciousness, whatever is happening, I know. Therefore, aham sarvajna. And because it is happening in my space of consciousness and nothing else is involved in its creation, aham sarvasya karanam api. Therefore, aham sarvajnam, aham sarvajnah, sarva karanam api. So, aham na katam Brahma. How am I not Brahman? Atoham na katam Brahma sarvajnam sarva karanam. See, beautiful. This Advaita Makaranda makes you keep thinking. That's why it's for Mananartham. for Manan ke liye. He's not explaining what is Satchidananda, right? Is it just a Shravan mein, isme ho gaya. Brahman is also not defined here. Atman is not defined here. Chit Vyomni not defined here. It's not a definition. It's not a Shravana. Shastra, or Shravana Grantha, it is Manana Grantha. Manana means having done your Shravanam, having done your own study, this is reflecting how to think. Now, when you said it is Sat, Brahman is Sat, or Atman is of the nature of existence, in this world, what we experience is everything that is perceived have some temporary period of existence. Not all things are always there. So also, is it possible that Atman also subject to disappearance or destruction at some point of time? How do you understand that Atman is eternal, Brahman is eternal? How do you prove the Shashvata nature of Brahman? Sanatana Atma, Sanatana Dharma. How do you understand the nature of the Atman as Sanat, eternal? Eternal means what? Indestructible, imperishable. Akshara Brahman, Akshara Atma, Amrutam, of the nature of immortality. Now, here in this verse number 4, which we have already seen, I'm just revisiting that. Which in Panchadashi also, yesterday I was discussing on the same point. There are only 3 possible ways of destroying a thing. One, it destroys itself. Second, because of something external. Third, because of removal of its ashraya, support. Just like a tree, when you cut the root or when you stop giving water to the root, it will perish. So the existence of the tree, it depends on water. So what it depends upon, ashraya, when you remove that, then it will perish. So there are 3 possibilities of destroying a thing. It itself destroys itself. One, it is destroyed by something else. Or the third is removal of its support. Now here we saw na swadaha nashaha. By itself, it cannot destroy itself. Why? Pratyabhijnanat. Prati abhijna. That's a very technical word. This Prati abhijna. Pratyabhijna is recollection of itself without any external support. At no point of time I would say, I don't remember myself. I may not remember you because we have not met for a long time. Possibility is that I would have forgotten you. Then when externally I saw you in a Facebook or you called me or some other occasion where something else indicates, oh yeah, I remember. In that way, do you forget? Are you subject to forgetting yourself? You may say, I forgot. You may forget many other things. The memory of a thing is stored in the psyche, in the mind, and it can be accessed whenever I want, whenever some external thing triggers such a memory. People sometimes forget the language also after having even lived in a country or spoken that language for a long time and then stayed away from that for a short period of time. When they come back, they cannot get the vocabulary immediately. It's because of loss of touch. Then you have to memorize or bring the memory. But is it so with you? So destruction of oneself is not possible because I'm not talking about the physical destruction, suicide. No, we are not talking about that. But the continuous memory of, continuous awareness of oneself, not even memory, continuous awareness of oneself as I. That's what Ramana Maharshi says, Aham inashabaj aham taya spuradi hrit swayam paramapurna sat. Paramapurna sat, the complete consciousness in its fullness is throbbing in yourself as I, in whose presence alone the relative temporary I comes and goes. It is the temporary I which is the connecting link between the absolute consciousness which is always present and the world which is coming and going. And based upon the appearance and disappearance of the world, this I comes up and goes away also. Many times when you see small children playing, when they play, when they are running here and there, you are afraid they will fall. Hey, don't run. Hey, don't do that. That fellow don't even care about it. You will run. And you realize that there is no body awareness until they fall. Got hurt. So when a body, a particular part of the body is hurt, then, oh, paining. I told you not to run. Only for maybe half a day again. Why? Because the awareness of the body is not there. Why it is not there? Because there is associated awareness, associated memory, reminding that I am the body is absent. So the pure consciousness is continuously present, and in that there is the appearance of the little I consciousness called ego, aham vritti, and that aham vritti needs to have an object of identification. Without that it cannot stay. In that space of consciousness, the aham vritti appears as a awareness of identification with an object. And this object being constantly under change, the ego is also constantly changing. When you are in the workplace, you are a project manager. ID comes there. When you are at home, you are not a project manager. You are not supposed to. So at that time, whoever it be, that is the awareness you have got. At that time, you cannot even behave like a project manager. You will have a great retaliation from at home then if you do that. The consequences you will have to meet. So there, you are just a husband or a wife. So where is that project manager ID? Where is it? Only in that environment or when you are at work. It comes and goes away because the object of identification has changed. You are on a vacation or you are with your friends, not with your family. Then you are identifying yourself as friend. At that time, you are not a husband or a wife. You are not a project manager. You are not the father or the mother. You are a friend. And that time you cannot behave like a father or the mother or a project manager. You're not expected to. So with your friends, the identity is what? I'm friend. That's all it is. So this I, the little I, is that which needs memory to identify. I, the pure consciousness, needs no memory because it is always aware. Pratyabhijna. Prati abhijna jayate jna janati. Abhijanadi. It constantly is aware. Therefore, there is no possibility of perishing. The perishing is possible for the temporary thing. For that which is permanent, there cannot be a perishing nature. It is imperishable. Pratyabhijnanat me na vinasha swata. Wait, sir. Okay, if that is the case, there can be a destruction because of something else other than you. Niravayavatvat na anyataha nashaha. Niravayavatvat, because it is not made of parts. In Panchadashi, second chapter, the detail was given there. Why that is said that it doesn't have amsha or part? It's because there is no name, because there is no form. See, when I say nose, the nose is nose, which I know. Who knows? No, I know. So the nose is known as part of my body because it has a particular shape. Though it is my body only, when I say body, it includes this. But I specifically know it as nose. Why? Because it is of the particular function and the shape. Because it is given the name, nose. Ears. What am I touching? Body. Are you? No, ears. Are you touching body or the ears? I am touching the body that has ears. That is an intelligent answer. Oh, body has ears or body consists ears. See, when you say this is my car, really what it is a combination of many things. Bonnet, tires, steering wheel, engine. So many different things makes a car. And then when you say this is my car, car is not an entity by itself. Car is made up of components. And if you remove all the components, car cannot exist. A tree, when you say, it is made of parts. leaves, flowers, fruits, branches, trunk, root. You remove all the parts. Where is the tree then? So everything in this world is made of forms, and every form has got a name, individual names, but collectively they can be known as one thing. Correct. Now, is Brahman made of parts? X, Y, Z together becomes Brahman. So that's what I was giving the example of. When gold is taken and made a form like Rama or Krishna or Hanuman and Sita and Lakshman, etc., they are individual forms. Rama is one form, Lakshman is another form, Hanuman is another form, Sita is another form. I understand. These are also, Lakshman does not look like Ram, Rama doesn't look like Sita, Sita doesn't look like Hanuman, etc. Now, but when I melt that, all the four put together, what I get is gold. Now, that gold which has no particular form, has no particular name also. Gold. I cannot say, this part, that is Rama gold, and this part is Lakshmana gold. This is Hanumanji gold. See, Chota one, that is Hanumanji gold. The gold is gold. So, can you say gold has these four forms? Gold consists of these four forms. When you remove Rama, Lakshmana, Sita, and Hanuman, there is no gold. Is it so? The gold is not consisting of these four parts, but the four parts are expression of the same gold. Gold is consistently there. In the same way, Brahman is not made of parts, and Brahman is not made of forms. This is exactly what Bhagavan Krishna says, that I, in my unmanifest form, is available as this whole world. Maya idam sarvam tadam avyakta murtina. Maya tadamidam sarvam avyakta murtina. By me, the gold is saying, avyakta murtina maya idam sarvam, all this form which you see, Rama, Lakshmana, and Sita, and Hanuman, maya tadam. Swarna Murtayaha maya tadam. All these Swarna Murtis are all pervaded by me only. So, and then Matstani Sarva Bhutani. Maistani, in me alone, all these bhutas, all these beings are residing. The gold can say, in me alone, these four forms are residing. Nacha aham teshu. I am not Rama or Lakshman or Hanuman or Sita. They are not me. Why? I am not that form. And I am not that name also. So when we understand the Brahman is with no parts, with no forms, and no names, therefore niravayavatvat, being not having parts, and when the part is removed, there can be destruction of that thing. As I said, if parts are removed, there cannot be a car. And you go to a shop, they say there's a car parts. So I want to buy a spare car part. That means I can replace it also. Even a human body also nowadays they can replace many of the parts. Kidney is replaced, liver is replaced, teeth of course is replaced, eyes are replaced, hair is replaced hair also. After some time, you are not you. Everything is replaced. The old me is not available anymore. Everything has been replaced. So the parts, when they are all removed, there cannot be car. In the same way, Brahman, if it is made of parts, even the parts are removed, Brahman won't be. But that is not so. Therefore, niramshatvat, niravayavatvat, na anyataha nashaha. Cannot be any other external thing that can remove or destroy Brahman. Oh, what about the third possibility? What is that? Ashraya vinashat. Support I remove and then you will be destroyed. Nirashrayatvat. It is not possible to destroy. Nacha ashraya vinashan me vinashasyat anashrayat. Anashrayat, because being not supported by anything else, anashrayat, me na vinashaha, there is no destruction in me, ashraya vinashat, by removal of what it depends on. There is no dependence on anything else. My awareness do not depends upon the existence of the mind or the body. That is why in the last class, I don't know that is, I don't remember. But see, Ramana Maharshi had said, when he departed from this physical body by the grace of God, departed means he moved away. When he was only 16. And when he looked at that body lying there, he asked this question, am I depending on it or that is depending on me? ये किसका आश्रय किसका आश्रय है? My existence is depending on the body, or body's existence is depending on me. And he saw the body is motionless, like a corpse, lying there, not even breathing, mind you. He looked at it. That is not even breathing. That is as good as lying like a log of wood. It has no life. It has no movement. So therefore, I am the support of that, and I'm not. That is not the support of me. मैं उसका आश्रय हूं, वे उस मेरा आश्रय नहीं है. Having realized this, the question is, who am I independent of this physical body? What is my nature? All the time I looked at it myself as I am hungry, I am old, I am young, I am a man, I am a boy, I am 16-year-old. All that is what I have been thinking. But now I know that is not me. Then who am I? So ashraya vinasha, the removal of ashraya, if there is a dependence upon something for my existence, then that dependence when removed, I don't exist. But that is not the truth. I exist independent of that. So my destruction in my own is not possible. Destruction from something else is not possible. Destruction because of removal of ashraya is not possible. In other words, aham akshara swarupaha amruta swarupaha aham. I am imperishable. and immutable and immortal. All right, so what do we call it as destruction? What is destruction? There are only 4 things that can, of the world, can destroy a thing. Either it can burn it, wet it, dry it, or break it. These are the 4 possible ways of destroying a thing. By an earthly product, you can destroy another earthly product. I take a stone, and it can be destroyed or broken by a hammer. Possible? The rock is made of earth, the hammer is made of iron, born out of earth only. I want to destroy water. Take a hammer and try to destroy it. It's not possible. But water can destroy the earth. It can swallow it. It can disintegrate it. So water can destroy the earth. The earth cannot destroy the water. But water can be destroyed by what? Fire. Is it not? The water is there and you heat up, it's not there anymore. The fire can destroy water. Now, how can fire be destroyed? By air. Without the air, fire cannot stay. Swamiji, is it not through water I can destroy fire? It is the O, not H2, that destroys there. It is the oxygen that is destroying it. So O, the air, when it is removed, fire cannot stay. Without the air, fire cannot be there. So earth cannot be destroyed by earth cannot destroy water. Water cannot destroy fire. Fire cannot destroy air. But air can destroy fire. Fire can destroy water. Water can destroy earth. Other way around is possible. Now, none of the 4 can do anything to space. I'm going to break the space into pieces by this hammer. Keep doing it. I'm going to wet this space with water. Do it. I'm going to pollute the air space with air. That you can do, but only the air gets polluted, not the space. I'm going to burn the space with fire. So, nabasaha vinashaha. Nabas means space. Not possible with any one of them. So we read the 5th one here. I think we finished before. Nashosha plosha vikleda chetos chinnabaso mama satyerapyanilagnarbha shastre kimuta kalpitaihi Nashosha plosha vikleda chetos chinnabaso mama Satyerapenilagyamba shastre kimuda kalpitaihi. Ambas. Ambas is water. Amba. Mama chid nabasaha na shosha plosha vikleda chetaha. Chid is to cut, destroy. Chinna. Chinna means destroyed, cut, made into pieces. Chinna pinnam. Chid, that's a word. Chid, not chit, chid. Chid. Chid becomes chinna, it becomes cut. So, how is it possible? Satyerapi, even though real, even though gross, here Satya means even though gross, what? Anila, up means water, up, water. Anila, Agni, Ambaha, space, not Ab, Ambaha. So, up, water. Anila, earth. Agni, fire. Ambaha. Anila is air. Nilam na vidyate is air. So, Satyerapi, Anila, Agni, Amba, Shastraihi. Shastraihi is the earth, because it's a word. So, Anila, earth, Anila, air, Agni, fire, Ambas, water. Ambara is space. Sorry, again and again I'm reading it. Ambas is water, Ambara is space. Okay. So with the air, fire, water, earth, even that cannot destroy real space, space being the subtlemost. Agni cannot do anything about it. Vayu cannot do, water cannot do, earth cannot do. Even the real space or the gross space also cannot be destroyed by any of the other four elements. What to talk of the space of consciousness from which even the space has arrived? You understand, according to the theory of creation, the earth came from water, water came from fire, fire came from the air, air came from space, space came from consciousness. So the effect cannot destroy the cause. Effect can only merge into the cause. It cannot destroy it. Pot cannot destroy the mud. So here, the effect, which is the gross effect, cannot destroy or bring an end to its own cause, which is subtler than it. And even the space cannot be destroyed by any one of these four elements. Tasmatva etasmad akasha sambhutaha. From that from which the akasha also has come, the consciousness, how can even any one of these four things which are gross which cannot even destroy the space, can destroy the cause of the space, which I am. Shosha means to dry up. Plosha is to wet. Vikala is to divide. So, Shosha, Plosha, Viklesha, making it wet, and then Cheta, destruction by cutting. Shosha to dry, Plosha to burn, Vikleta is to wet, Cheta is to cut. So all these four elements, Nashlosha, Plosha, Viklesha, Chetaha, Chinnabaso, Mama, Na. Not possible. This is what is said by Bhagavan Krishna also in Gita. Nainam chindanti shastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, nachainam kletayantyapaha, nashoshayati marutaha. Na enam chintanti shastrani. The weapons cannot destroy it. Nainam dahati pavakaha. Fire cannot burn it. Nachainam kletayantyapaha. Water cannot wet it. Nashoshayati marutaha. Air cannot dry it. You can have air dry. Food you can air dry it, but not Bhagavan or its consciousness. In other words, to say by any of the product of the earth, I mean, a product which is created in the earth as the names and forms, can destroy the pure consciousness which I am. Therefore, eternality, immortality of the consciousness is proved. Slowly, slowly, he will unfold. As I said, it is for contemplation. So when you chant, say that Mano Buddhya Hankara Chittani Naham, it is not just for singing. Name Mrityu Shanka, Name Jati Beda, Name Ado Neva Me Neva Matsarya Bhava. So when you are chanting those things, it is it's the conclusion of thinking, not confusion of thinking. Conclusion of thinking. It is not just a statement. It is a statement of fact arrived at after thinking. So one must reflect on that. All right. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.